Once more misses, Choi gives Sophia and Tate a progression of stunning ultimatums. Besides, Rafe's supplanted. On the present days of our lives, we get from yesterday, with Amy and Sophia showing up at Tate's. He takes a stab at being respectful, yet Amy simply rail lines over him and Sophia, saying he ought to apologize for sneaking around with Sophia and getting her pregnant. He guarantees they were cautious, yet that is not flying with Amy. They never ought to have had intercourse, and she had enormous designs for what's in store. Tate calls attention to that as the reason she really wants an early termination, and Amy lets him know it'll occur not without a fight. Sophia beseeches her mother to not have this conversation, then, at that point, spreads out to Tate that she and her religion preclude fetus removal. She's enraged that this pregnancy occurred, however, since it did, Sophia is having the child and they are both raising it together. My grandkid won't be conceived illegitimately. That last part appalls the guardians to be much more. Tate has a go at telling her that is not occurring, yet Mrs. Choi advises him to close it. She has a migraine, they have a wedding to plan, and they need to sort out some way to make sense of it for Sophia's father. She hauls her terrified little girl out, passing on Tate to hurl himself on the sofa, thinking about how he'll at any point tell Holly. Doug is deploring that he actually needs more cash to escape this opening when Holly thumps on the entryway, upset. He conceals the money and Holly burns through no time, enlightening him concerning Tate's concerns, in the wake of swearing him to mystery. Do you think he was truly going to come clean with you? Doug asks, subsequent to learning Tate planned to sneak Sophia off for the early termination. Likely not. Yet, since it has become so undeniably obvious, Tate figured they can in any case put everything behind them. However, Holly concedes she doesn't feel something similar. They at last let each know different they cherished one another, and he previously got a young lady pregnant. Regardless of whether they have it, that will constantly be among Sophia and Tate. Doug guarantees Holly that she has each privilege to be disturbed. Welcome to the show that is my life, she moans. Doug, however, tells her they ought to show up for the show and get her brain off of it for a couple of hours. It's New Year's Eve. She values the deal, however she can't do it without considering Tate throughout the evening. In Jada's office, EJ is confused at being supplanted. He rapidly acknowledges Jada was behind it, however she simply tastes her espresso as he requests replies. Paulina illuminates him that it doesn't make any difference, since it's her choice, then spreads out each reason it's the ideal opportunity for him to go. EJ Demera, you are terminated. He needs to know who's supplanting him, yet Paulina says he'll realize when she has the question and answer session reporting it. For the good of pity, we're family, Paulina. Sure, however she can isolate individual and expert lives, in contrast to him. Prior to stomping out, EJ goes to Jada, says he realizes this was her doing and she will not pull off this. Paulina's happy it's finished, yet Jada brings up that EJ compromised her. Is it truly finished? Paulina simply ignores it. He's simply an irritable young man. And he could bear being wrecked by a resilient lady. Jada, however, has seen what EJ's prepared to do. However, Paulina simply advises her to appreciate being liberated from EJ for the new year and go celebrate with Rafe. No problem. Rafe's sneaking about the Demeros when he encounters Arnold. Heya, Rafe. It's me, your old buddy. Rafe's astonished, so Arnold happily makes sense of how his passing was faked by EJ. With Stefano's assistance. They sent him to Argentina, however he became weary of concealing following 14 years. Rafe lets him know that was a slip-up, takes out his telephone to call the police, and gets slammed over the head by Arnold. Sorry buddy, I surmised the best Rafe one. He speechifies over Rafe's oblivious body on the love seat and takes a beverage similarly as EJ returns home, frightened at the sight. He verifies whether Rafe is as yet alive, hollers at Arnold, after twofold really looking at he's Arnold, and requests to realize what occurred. Furthermore, indeed, Arnold concedes, he cleared up for Rafe that EJ was the person who faked his passing. Jada calls, or, as Arnold says, Jada is calling. Who's Jada? And Robo-Rafe is back in real life. Arnold picks up the telephone and, following a subsequent delay, consents to meet at the bar. EJ requests to understand what he's doing. Indeed, I found that the women like it when you give them minimal pet names. He simply needed to check whether he could pull it off, and since he has, EJ illuminates Arnold they have a wreck to tidy up. Ava and Brady meet at the bar where she shows him the most recent text. He takes note of that it came in on Christmas, and he was with Kristen so that a piece could see Rachel. Kristen swore she wasn't behind it, and she appeared to be true. Likewise, it's too basic an arrangement. She tells him, however, that Steve observed that the texts were coming from the DiMera bequest. However, that is not why she called him there. It's about Tate. She educates Brady concerning running into Mrs. Choi and how quick things spiraled, particularly once Sophia's mother scholarly her girl was pregnant. What's more, the child it's Tate's. Obviously, Ava tells him. She knows it's not her concern, but rather she's so grieved. Brady's sickened, this will make a huge difference for the two of them. He circumspectly attempts to figure out what Sophia's plans are, yet Ava doesn't know. So Brady murmurs and heads home, expressing gratitude toward her for being an incredible companion and telling him. Best of luck, she tells him with a frown. In the show's last minutes, Holly says thanks to Doug once more, yet he demands that she not be separated from everyone else. No other person is near, so it'll simply be both of them there watching the ball drop. Holly thinks, then, at that point, consents to remain cheerfully. Brady gets back, perceives how vexed his child is and inquires as to whether Tate's all right. Ava let him know what occurred. However, he plunks down, taps Tate's knee and says he needs to hear the subtleties from him. EJ hauls Rafe's body into the mysterious entry, trusting Arnold won't mess things up more. The phony being referred to gets to the bar, plunks down with Jada and tells her she looks perfect. So what's the large information? She begins to tell him, then sees his garments are unique. Arnold simply grins at her. The fictional world of Salem has long been a hotbed of intrigue, betrayal, and unexpected twists, but this week on Days of Our Lives took the drama to an entirely new level. The storyline revolving around Mrs. Choi, a powerful and enigmatic figure, imposing a chilling series of ultimatums on Sophia and Tate had viewers on the edge of their seats. Adding fuel to the fire, Rafe Hernandez found himself replaced yet again, leaving fans questioning his future in Salem. Here's an in-depth look at the explosive developments that have everyone talking. The rise of Mrs. Choi. Mrs. Choi entered the Salem scene with an aura of mystery, commanding attention with her steely gaze and impeccable style. Portrayed by veteran actress Min Young Park, Mrs. Choi's backstory remains shrouded in secrecy, but her connection to Sophia DiMera and Tate Black has quickly become the focal point of the drama. It's clear that Mrs. Choi holds significant power, not just in Salem but beyond, with ties to international crime syndicates and political conspiracies. This week, Mrs. Choi revealed her true intentions. In a high-stakes confrontation at the DiMera mansion, she delivered an ultimatum to Sophia and Tate that left them reeling. Either they comply with her demands, or they face consequences that could destroy their lives and the lives of everyone they love. Sophia and Tate, a love on the brink. Sophia DiMera and Tate Black have had their fair share of ups and downs, but their love has always been a beacon of hope in the chaotic world of Salem. However, Mrs. Choi's demands threaten to tear them apart. In one of the week's most intense scenes, Mrs. Choi confronted Sophia and Tate in a dimly lit warehouse. She demanded that Sophia betray her family, specifically, her father, Stephen DiMera, by handing over crucial business documents that could dismantle the DiMera empire. At the same time, she ordered Tate to sabotage his mother, Teresa Donovan's, budding political career by leaking damaging false information to the press. Sophia, fiercely loyal to her family, was horrified at the prospect of turning against them. Yet, Mrs. Choi's threat was clear: failure to comply would result in the public exposure of a scandalous secret from Sophia's past, one that could ruin her reputation and future. Tate's dilemma was no less harrowing. His relationship with his mother, Teresa, has been rocky at best, but he couldn't fathom destroying her dreams. Still, Mrs. Choi's henchmen made it clear that refusal was not an option. The tension between Tate's love for Sophia and his loyalty to his family created a rift that seemed impossible to bridge. Mrs. Choi's chilling ultimatums. The stakes only escalated as Mrs. Choi revealed the extent of her influence. She orchestrated a series of events designed to back Sophia and Tate into a corner. Financial ruin: Mrs. Choi froze the assets of both Sophia and Tate, leaving them financially vulnerable. This move not only heightened their desperation but also demonstrated her far-reaching power. Targeting loved ones, Mrs. Choi's operatives began shadowing Sophia's younger brother, Theo, and Tate's half-sister, Rachel. The implication was clear: if Sophia and Tate didn't cooperate, their siblings could become collateral damage. Public scandal: a series of fabricated photos and documents surfaced online, painting both Sophia and Tate in a negative light. These leaks threatened to destroy their credibility and personal relationships. Health threats: in a shocking twist, Mrs. Choi revealed that she had poisoned Sophia's favorite herbal tea, delivering a subtle but menacing reminder that she could strike at any time. Rafe's replacement: a new era? Meanwhile, Rafe Hernandez's position in the Salem Police Department was once again under threat. Over the years, Rafe has been a stalwart presence in Salem, navigating the ever-changing dynamics of the town's law enforcement. However, his latest demotion marked the third time he's been replaced, leaving fans wondering if this is the end of the road for the beloved character. Enter Detective Alex Grant, a charismatic but controversial figure brought in to restore order to Salem's police force. Alex's methods are unorthodox, and his allegiance remains ambiguous, fueling speculation about his true intentions. While Rafe struggled to come to terms with his new reality, he found an unexpected ally in Jada Hunter, who vowed to help him uncover the truth behind his removal. The tension between Rafe and Alex came to a head during a heated confrontation at the police station. Accusations flew, and it became clear that Alex had his own agenda, one that could have far-reaching implications for Salem. Whether Rafe can reclaim his position or will find a new path remains to be seen. Fan reactions. The unfolding drama has sparked passionate reactions from fans, with many taking to social media to share their thoughts. Mrs. Choi's introduction has been met with widespread acclaim, with viewers praising Min Young Park's performance as one of the most compelling villains in recent years. Sophia and Tate's predicament has also struck a chord, with fans divided over how they should respond to Mrs. Choi's ultimatums. Some argue that they should stand their ground, while others believe that their love might not survive the fallout. As for Rafe, fans are rallying behind him, expressing hope that he'll find a way to reclaim his place in Salem's police force. Detective Alex Grant's arrival has added an intriguing new dynamic, with many curious to see how his character develops. What's next? The future of Sophia and Tate's relationship hangs in the balance as they grapple with Mrs. Choi's demands. Will they find a way to outmaneuver her, or will her ultimatums prove too much to overcome? Meanwhile, Rafe's journey takes an unexpected turn as he uncovers shocking secrets about Alex Grant and the forces working against him. One thing is certain: the drama in Salem is far from over. As alliances shift and secrets come to light, the stakes will only continue to rise. Fans won't want to miss a moment of the action as Days of Our Lives delivers one of its most gripping storylines yet.